Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Burton Ballers. And in today's video, I'm going to be addressing two topical points at the moment after our defeat against Everton. First of all, it's going to be the treatment of Pulisic. Is he being unfairly untreated, or is a mission from the side justified? And I'm going to be talking about Thomas Tuchel. Is this man beyond any sort of criticism?
Welcome to the Burton Ballers. Ain't got no time for no stallers, yeah.
We are the risers, we're not the fallers. Our channel is growing wider and taller.
Yeah, we're here to give you the news about your dear beloved Blues, yeah.
So if you like this YouTube channel, like, subscribe and turn on that bell.
Yeah.
So first I'm going to talk about Christian Pulisic and whether he's been unfairly treated at Chelsea. This is based on a tweet from his father. He kind of hinted that he may be looking to move on at the end of the season. His tweet was, "The sad thing is he loves his club, this club, teammates and London. Put his heart and soul into being a pro. Onwards and upwards, my boy. Big 6 months ahead." So based on that, he's saying sad times because he hasn't been having the minutes that he wants to have at Chelsea, and sad times maybe. I'm not sure whether he's had conversations with Tuchel to say that he's not part of his plans. We just don't know, but it's a very cryptic message. So we'll see what's going to happen in the next few months. So my question is Thomas Tuchel treating him fairly? Because we've got to remember that Thomas Tuchel had him at Dortmund, and I think was it under Tuchel that he left or just after, but he wasn't playing. I think when Dembele came, Dembele was getting a lot of the minutes and Sancho was getting a lot of the minutes. And Pulisic wasn't playing as often. Maybe it's because I think he had agreed to move to Chelsea at the time, why he wasn't playing as much. But when he came to Chelsea, Frank Lampard first of all eased him into the side. A lot of people were moaning, mainly from the American fan base who wanted to see him do well, and they were moaning about why he wasn't playing. But the reasons, Frank's decision was justified because he came in and he had to adjust to the English style of play, and he had a couple of injury niggles as well. So he didn't bring him in until it was the right thing to do. And we've seen that with other managers as well. We've seen that with Pep, with people like Gundogan and people like that. We've seen it with people like Thiago and people like that with Klopp, how they took a while to adjust to the English style of play, so sometimes that's what you need to do. You need to exercise some patience. So when he came in, he had came into the side, he was quite good, and he was quite, I'd say, sensational actually, towards the end of that lockdown period, where he was like, sometimes you looked at him, he was majestic. It was like you sort of looked from afar and you saw the rebirth of Eden Hazard. That game against Liverpool, I keep talking about how he came on and nearly transformed that game, and he had Liverpool's defence running scared in that game. But since then, things haven't gone so well. He had a very up and down season last season, and this season, a lot of times he's had injuries. He's come back from international duty with injuries. Thomas Tuchel as well hasn't really played him in his preferred position. I always say, put him on the left-hand side. That's where he excels for me. And how many times has he played on that left-hand side? Not that many. He's played as a wing-back sometimes. He's played on the right. He's played as a false nine. But most of the times he looks better on that left-hand side. So having said all that, and these are the sort of pros for Pulisic, he needs to step up and do more when he's on the pitch. For me, this season he's been very inconsistent. Okay, I've already said he's had different positions, but when he has played off the left, sometimes he hasn't grabbed that position. Nobody's grabbed that position. For me, if you grab a position as a manager, you'll be silly. If someone's excelling in a particular position, you'll be silly to drop that person. But nobody, not him, even Werner now. Werner's had a few games on that left-hand side, started off well, but he's now gone back to where to type. And so nobody said, you know what, this is my position in the side. So for me, he's got to do a bit more as well. He's got to be consistent in what is in his output, because sometimes he's quite a bit frustrating. But like with what we've done with Werner, we've given him 7 games now, and as a run in the side, and that hasn't really done anything apart from the first few games. I'd like to see the same thing given to Pulisic. Actually, I'd like to see him have a run in the side in his preferred position to see how he gets on. You know, obviously it's a bit too late this season, but if he does stay next season, give him a run in the side, and then you can make a judgment on him. You know, I don't think he's world-class status yet, and would we regret letting him go? Maybe, because we saw with people like Arjen Robben, who had a lot of injuries when he left Chelsea to go to Real Madrid, and then at Bayern Munich he was fantastic. So I don't know, but I'm not going to be saying we'll definitely regret letting him go, because football is not like that. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. But so what are your opinions on Pulisic? Do you think he's being unfairly treated, or do you think he needs to do a bit more to justify his place in the side? Next topic is this one on the manager, because there's a lot of reactionary stuff going on. Last year was the best manager in the world. We know we need to keep him at all costs, and then now after a few iffy results, just like we've got a lot of our fan base is quite spoiled, especially the ones who joined just after Roman Abramovic took over, and all they're used to is success. So 3 or 4 bad results, and it's always sack the manager and all that sort of stuff, all that nonsense. Nobody's willing to give the manager a chance. But is he beyond criticism? No, he's not. The thing is, criticism is okay if it's done in a constructive way, not sack him or whatever, or why and the people who are criticising him, they're getting to, you should never criticise him, he won us the Champions League. Yeah, okay, he won us the Champions League, but he's not beyond criticism. He's made a lot of mistakes this season as well, and he needs to improve. I'm one who said, give him time to get his own players in, but there's certain things that he needs to improve on as well. He hasn't been rotating the squad as much as he should do in the last few games. I was surprised to see that lineup yesterday against Everton, actually, the same front three, because Havertz hasn't been playing well for a while. Werner, as I said, he's gone back to some poor performances. So Pulisic should have been given a run out yesterday. Lukaku, okay, he's not been great. I think he should have been given a run out. Maybe Ziyech, who we haven't seen for a while. So even when things are not going right, he doesn't make substitutions to me at the right time. He waits a bit too late, and he's a man who doesn't allow his team to play off-the-cuff football. It's very much a system style of football, and it's kind of a risk-averse type of football. So when our defence and everyone's working in unison, it's good because we're hard to break down. But in the attacking areas, okay, people may say that our conversion rate up is poor, and it has been poor for a while, but the pattern of play when it comes to attacking is very systematic. And what teams do, managers, we've got a lot of intelligent managers in the Premier League at the moment, and what they do, they analyse the way you play, and it's their job to come up with solutions to nullify your attack. So we've seen a pattern now. Teams sit back against us, are quite solid, organised, or aggressive with our players, because our players are very timid. So when you get aggressive and you're organised, then we find it hard to break down, because it's sort of sideways to the byline, cross the ball in, and it's not there's no sort of inventive play about us. And it's a case of more about getting back into your shape rather than, you know, sort of trying to do some sort of off the cuff things. And, you know, players I think they look scared to try things. You know, we don't have people who will take on that dribble past 2 or 3 players, you know, commit players, or play that you know, that intelligent pass in behind or something. So it's a case about what's going to happen if we lose the ball. Are we going to get back into our shape? And then that puts people in their shell, so they tend not to try things that they'll normally do. Is that the manager's instruction? So if it is, then we need to try and play more high risk football, because, you know, the 2 teams at the top of the league, we've got Pep and we've got Klopp, and what they do is high risk, high reward football. You know, they'll take chances, they'll push up high. I know the personnel we have doesn't allow us sometimes. We've got Thiago Silva, who's not as quick at the back, but we do kind of push up high. But sometimes we do not take those necessary risks that we need to break our opposition down. So in the main, he's done well, but there is room for improvement. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. It's not, you know, oh, you're criticising him. What you shouldn't be criticised because of what you've done. No, he can be criticised. You know, nobody's perfect. You know, even the best managers in the world, there are certain things that they have done where that you can say that you know, they could have done better in that situation. So I want us to improve. So, you know, like people like Pulisic, I want him to improve and do better. I want the manager to improve and do better, because that's the thing. You know, we shouldn't. The thing is, when we are settled in what we're doing and we're comfortable in what we're doing, then that's when complacency creeps in. We should always strive to do better and look at what we're doing. How can we get even better? How can we steal a march on our opposition? What can we do to get, you know, we're at sort of point A, but we want to get beyond point A. We want to get further. We want to do things, you know, always keep the opposition guessing, always try and improve on our managerial style. The reason why people like Alex Ferguson stayed as long as he did is because he brought in different coaches all the time with different ideas. So, you know, that's why he built 3 different teams and they were all successful, because he didn't settle on what he was doing and say, okay, this is a successful style of play. He said, you know what, I'm gonna adapt, and you know, if they find out that, you know, one style of our play, I'm going to adapt, get different coaching methods, so they'll keep them guessing again. And that's what we need to do. We need to be constantly adapting our methods as a coach. So that's my take on it. So what do you think about Tuchel? Do you think he's doing perfect? Do you think that there's things that he needs to improve? Stick it in the comment section. What sort of things do you think he needs to improve on? Or do you think that there's nothing that he needs to do and it's all the players' fault? Love to hear your opinions. So that's my little take on these 2 issues. So don't forget, as normal, if you like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.